Did Disney really just fire their own leading lady? In a move that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood, rumors are swirling that Disney CEO Bob Iger has officially cut ties with Rachel Zegler, the face of the upcoming Snow White remake. A movie that was supposed to honor Disney's legacy has now spiraled into a full-blown corporate disaster. But here's the kicker. Zegler didn't just get dropped from one project. She's been wiped clean from multiple upcoming roles. And if the rumors are true, it wasn't just bad press. It was personal. So what exactly went wrong? Let's break down the slow-motion train wreck that turned Disney's fairy tale into a nightmare, and why Rachel Zegler just might be the most high-profile casualty of the Mouse House meltdown. When Rachel Zegler was cast as Snow White, it was supposed to be her Cinderella moment, a rising star fresh off West Side Story, chosen to reimagine one of the most iconic characters in animation history. But almost immediately, things started going sideways. In early press interviews, Zegler criticized the original 1937 Snow White as outdated and weird. She doubled down, calling the prince character a stalker and saying her version of Snow White would be a leader who doesn't dream of true love. To many fans, it felt like she was mocking the story that made Disney Disney. The backlash was immediate. Memes exploded, comment sections were brutal, and hashtags like #NotMySnowWhite started trending. Disney tried to downplay the controversy, but behind the scenes, the damage was already done. According to multiple insider sources, Bob Iger was livid. He'd already inherited a mess when he returned as CEO, and the Snow White situation was quickly becoming unfixable. The film was tracking poorly in test screenings, the internet was on fire, and now even toy retailers were sounding alarms over pre-sales. Then came The Purge. Rachel Zegler was quietly removed from her voice role in Toy Story 5, where she was set to play a new character named Spiral. Gone. Next, she was dropped from the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot, a role that was supposed to help anchor the franchise's future. Also gone. Some insiders say Iger made the call himself after reviewing the fallout from Snow White's latest test cut. The message? Disney couldn't risk any more brand damage, and unfortunately for Rachel, she had become the face of it. Let's be honest, even without the controversy, Snow White 2025 was in deep trouble. Production was plagued with chaos. The script went through multiple rewrites. The tone shifted constantly, from a modern feminist story to a classic fairy tale to something awkwardly in between. Reshoots were so frequent that cast members reportedly had to relearn entirely different character arcs on the fly. Then came the infamous dwarf debacle. First, Disney announced the classic 7 dwarfs would be replaced with magical creatures. That backfired. Then they used full-size actors and CGI'd them to look smaller, which looked frankly ridiculous. The whole thing became a meme before the movie even dropped a trailer. At one point, insiders described the film as a Frankenstein project, stitched together with no consistent vision and with Zegler caught in the middle. Disney's marketing team tried everything. Posters, promos, interviews, viral TikToks, they threw the entire budget at making this movie seem like a modern masterpiece. But no amount of pixie dust could hide what was really happening. When the first trailer dropped, fans hated it. When merch hit shelves, it didn't move. Early screenings, audiences called it confusing, unfunny, and painfully slow. Some theaters reported near-empty opening weekends. Images of deserted showings and untouched Snow White dolls went viral. Critics weren't much kinder, calling the movie a tone-deaf mess and a soulless remake. It was clear, this wasn't the empowering reimagining Disney promised. It was a flop in real time. So was firing Rachel Zegler fair? Depends who you ask. To fans, she came off arrogant and dismissive of the source material. To Disney, she was a PR nightmare. But others argue she was thrown under the bus for decisions way above her pay grade. She didn't write the script, she didn't direct the movie, she didn't cast herself. Yet somehow she ended up as the face of everything wrong with the project. Industry whispers suggest Iger was furious, not just about the movie, but about how Zegler handled the backlash. She reportedly refused to do certain PR appearances, clashed with Disney reps, and was described by some insiders as difficult to manage. Whether that's true or corporate spin, one thing's clear, someone had to take the fall, and Disney chose Rachel. But here's the real story. Rachel Zegler's firing is just a symptom of a much deeper problem. Disney doesn't know what it is anymore. Are they making movies for nostalgic millennials? For Gen Z? For activists? For kids? No one's really sure. Their remakes are trying to please everyone and end up pleasing no one. The stories feel corporate, the messaging feels forced, and the magic? It's fading fast. Even longtime Disney creatives are reportedly frustrated. One anonymous producer told Variety, "We used to make movies that felt timeless, now we're chasing trends on TikTok. Snow White 2025 will go down as one of the biggest flops in Disney's modern history." And not just financially, it's an emotional blow to a brand built on fairy tales. Retailers are furious, merchandising partners lost millions. And now Disney's rethinking future remakes entirely. Behind the scenes, budgets are being slashed, creative teams are being shuffled, and Bob Iger is under pressure to either deliver a win or step aside again. Meanwhile, Rachel Zegler is left in Hollywood limbo. Once seen as Disney's next golden girl, she's now the face of a project no one wants to talk about. And whether it's fair or not, she may never fully shake the fallout. So, did Disney CEO Bob Iger officially fire Rachel Zegler? While the studio still hasn't publicly confirmed it, every sign points in one clear direction. Yes, her name was scrubbed from upcoming projects. Roles she was cast in quietly vanished. Future press opportunities? Gone. And in the latest marketing for Snow White, her face is barely even visible, almost like Disney's trying to erase the whole thing. And the silence? That's the loudest part. No official statement, no public support, no denial, just a quiet distancing, calculated, corporate, and cold. But here's the truth. This was never just about one actress. This is about a company in crisis. A studio that once defined childhood for generations. Now fumbling through identity whiplash, Disney used to be the gold standard, the home of innovation, imagination, and unforgettable characters. But lately, it feels like they've traded storytelling for spreadsheets. From remakes that nobody asked for to scripts that feel more like brand checklists than heartfelt narratives, the Disney machine is sputtering. And Snow White 2025 may be the breaking point. A film that was supposed to reintroduce a beloved icon instead became the symbol of everything going wrong behind the castle gates. Right now, Disney's in survival mode, scrambling to reverse engineer success through reshoots, rebrands, and reactionary decisions. It's not strategy, it's triage. The fairy tale is cracking. And the magic mirror, it's reflecting a kingdom that's lost its way. A kingdom that might be afraid of the truth staring back at them. The real question now is bigger than Rachel Zegler. It's this: can Disney truly recover? Or are we watching the end of their live-action fairy tale era, sealed inside its very own glass coffin? Is this the wake-up call that finally forces the Mouse House to return to what made it magical in the first place? Or just another chapter in a saga of missteps, corporate meddling, and lost trust? Let's talk about it. Do you think Rachel Zegler was treated unfairly? Was she just a scapegoat caught in the storm, or did her own choices help fuel the fire? And what does this mean for Disney moving forward? Should they step back from remakes entirely, or double down and try to fix what's broken? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I read everything, and your take might just make it into the next video. And hey, if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss a deep dive into Hollywood's biggest meltdowns, studio shakeups, and behind-the-scenes chaos. Because one thing's for sure, this story isn't over. Stay curious, stay sharp, and as always, thanks for watching.